I know you feeling this.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy 5.0 Primo here, and today is a exciting day because I finally got my mod for Colossus, and I've been waiting for this mod for, I believe I ordered it September the 19th, and it finally arrived. So it's been about a month and a half, close to 2 months, but I finally got the mod, and pretty much it's a mod that's going to help with colder coolant temps. Being that I have the Roush, it does get a little hot, and you know, heat's not good for the engine. You can cause, some pre-detonation. You can cause, heat soak. If your engine's hot, well, then it's going to pull back timing. You're not going to be in full boost. So I wanted to take care of this situation, so that way I can then, move forward with horsepower mods. You can have all that horsepower, but as soon as it gets hot, and it's pulling back that timing, you're losing horsepower, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I wanted to get my temperatures at a good range, so that way I can then further mod the car. So let's go ahead and get into the mod. Let's see what we got here today. I just got it, so I'm gonna unbox it with y'all. Let's go and check it out. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Just give you a little preview of what we're about to unbox. Let's see. And they taped this thing pretty good. Alright, see what we have here. Get some directions. Alright, see what we have in here. Got some hoses. Okay. Here. Let me go ahead and just get everything unwrapped. Alright, so I got everything unwrapped, and here we have the killer chiller system. So here's the killer chiller. This is a pretty big unit. Like, this thing is freaking huge. So let's pick it up. That thing is huge. Normally I was getting, I believe it was like a 9-inch style, but because of the delay, a long delay, normally he gets these kits out within 2 weeks, but because of the long delay, he upgraded, whoever had the 9-inch, I believe it was a 9-inch system, he upgraded to the drag kit, which is, obviously a way bigger system, pretty much, just as efficient. It just cools your coolant temps down quicker. So that's pretty much what we have here is the unit. Got a couple of things in here, like some fittings and some clamps. And then in here, let's see what we got in here. some more fittings. So yeah, so Colossus will be going under the knife this week, and the only thing I will say, I'm missing my drag valve. Now, the drag valve is supposed to get drop shipped from the manufacturer. Kincaid says they're making sure I get it this week, which I hope I do. Now, I don't know if I can run this system without the drag valve, and maybe I can set it up, and then once the drag valve gets here, I can then use the drag valve, because from my understanding, I think the drag valve taps into your AC line to shut off the refrigerant at a certain spot, so that way you can keep your killer chiller going, but not have AC refrigerant going to the evaporator core. So I'm thinking that I could run the setup without having to have the drag valve, but I'm gonna read the directions and all that and check it out. Alright guys, so I just pretty much want to touch bases on the killer chiller for those who aren't familiar with the killer chiller or don't know what they do. It's pretty much a setup that you hook to your AC system, and it uses your refrigerant to cool your coolant for your supercharger. And so the way it does that is by using the pack. It sends refrigerant through one side, coolant through the other side, and as it's going through, it is using your AC refrigerant to cool the coolant to whatever that inside cabin is, which is usually about 40 to 50 degrees. So that's what it does. And I believe the Demon runs a killer chiller style setup as well. So it's pretty efficient. It's to help prevent heat soak. Some people will say, well, it defeats the purpose because at wide open throttle, your AC compressor shuts off. Yes, but as you are cruising and you're at a wide open throttle, it is working efficiently, cooling your coolant. So the moment that you do hit wide open throttle and your compressor disengages, well, your coolant is still, cold from it flowing through. And the moment you get out of wide open throttle, it starts, running again. So pretty much the setup is, gonna be take place as a heat exchanger. You can use your heat exchanger. The only thing is, if it's a bigger style heat exchanger, they highly recommend that you either use a bypass valve or you actually replace the heat exchanger, which is what I will be doing. I thought about tapping it in with the heat exchanger, but if I want it to work as efficient as it's supposed to, I just don't want to take a chance. Might as well replace the heat exchanger. Now, the kit that I have does have the drag valve, and people are gonna say, well, you're not supposed to run your AC while you're at the drag strip. Well, that's where the drag valve comes in place. I do have a drag valve for the kit, and pretty much the drag valve, the way that is set up is the valve tapped into your low side line. The drag valve is set to arrive in a few days, so once the drag valve gets here, I'll go ahead and install it all. Now, being that the drag valve is optional, I could actually install all this right now and it can run and function well without the drag valve. I have to tap into the low side line to hook this up and to hook up the drag valve. So being that I don't want to have to do that twice, so I'm gonna go ahead and just wait for the drag valve. I wanted to do it this weekend. It's Thursday now. I don't see the drag valve showing up this week. Might be here Monday or Tuesday. So I'm gonna go ahead and be patient, wait for the drag valve to show up, and install everything. So the one thing that I have seen is I have not seen a step-by-step detail video on installing these kits. I've seen videos of them functioning well, people showing temperatures of your coolant as they're running. I've seen some dyno videos. I've not seen an actual install video, which kind of bothers me because the instructions are a little vague. Like you don't get instructions for, this is for a Mustang S550. It doesn't work that way. It just has instructions on how the setup is supposed to be set up on any, vehicle with the AC system. And, it's just like a color diagram. So I'm kind of winging it. As long as I understand how the system is supposed to be set up and how it's supposed to function, I should be okay. I'm waiting for the drag valve to get here to see how that's supposed to work. But once I do get the drag valve and once I am ready to install it, I will have a detailed video. You're gonna, follow along with me on doing this setup, because, I'm not too. I've never messed with the system like this, but I am a tech, so there's the first time for everything. I mean, I'm gonna learn it and I'm gonna do it. I do all my own work, so you're gonna go ahead and follow along with me. So just wanted to make a video of the setup. So if y'all would like the video, sub the channel, and just stay tuned for the next video for the install. Later, guys.